So these people are the chameleon. You know what a chameleon is? Chameleon is a little lizard, that changes colors based on where they are. So chameleon, obviously, in many African countries are perceived as the devil or the cousin of the devil. He said it was fake news. Now he says we promise we're not going to... okay. So today we're going to talk about the Democratic Republic of Congo. Something really bad is happening in this country. We're going to follow up right now. Today we're also going to Zambia. Some witchcraft stuff is happening in Zambia. The president was about to be witched. Everybody was alert. The president was about to be witched, and something drastic really happened. We're going to find out just now. And then we're going to Kenya. William Ruto at it again. William Ruto. You want to know about William Ruto? We're going to find out just now. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing good. It's a beautiful day. Look, I got my white and blue t-shirt on. I look like a Marine with my big bicep. Look at that. Oh, baby. I don't even drink protein or eat protein or anything. I just eat vegetables. Let me just tell you something. For the past 7 years, I haven't eaten meat. Yeah. Morning, it's fruit. I eat one big meal a day. That's it. No meat, no chicken, fish from time to time, but green, vegetables and stuff like that. It's been great, amazing. You try it. Whatever you have as issue, if you have an issue, you're going to be fine. Okay, let's go. Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. I know some of you know the country for Koffi Olomide, for Papa Wemba, for Fali Ipupa, Ferregola, and many of these other guys. They love music, they love partying, they love dancing. Congolese people love dressing up. They dress up. They will spend $7,000 on a pair of shoes or pants. Yeah, Congolese people will do that. Not all, but most, especially from Kinshasa. It's a big country. Here's Kinshasa. Here's Goma. People from Kinshasa are completely different from people from Goma. So the colorful, the music, it's people from Kinshasa. Anyway, so in Congo, we have something very interesting happening. The president has laid charge. The government has laid charge against Apple. Yes, Apple, iPhone. Yes, they laid charge for accusing Apple of buying minerals that come from conflict area in the DRC.
À quoi ça sert de négocier avec un vulgaire voleur qui en plus fait ce trafic au prix du sang en tuant les Congolais. Donc les téléphones que vous avez ici dans vos pays contiennent le sang des Congolais.
So the Democratic Republic of Congo has filed a complaint against tech giant Apple subsidiaries in France and Belgium over the use of conflict mineral in the country. Apple has been mining for conflict minerals, if not directly, indirectly. Indirectly means people that are going to mine in illegal mines, illegal people, armed group people are selling minerals to Apple. So even though Apple knows what these people are doing, they are still buying that stuff. We're going to find out some more. Lawyers representing the Central African country claim in a statement this week that Apple's subsidiary in Europe are using conflict minerals sourced in sub-Saharan Africa and accuse the company of using deceptive commercial practices to assure consumers that the tech giant supply chain are clean. So Apple knows that whatever they need for their computers and cell phones and many more are not necessarily clean because they are being mined from conflict areas. But they are trying to reassure consumers that, hey, our chains are clean, don't worry. And the government of the DRC is accusing them. There are minerals which are typically sourced from high-risk areas afflicted by war or conflict. A typical example is the DRC, Sierra Leone, Venezuela, among the countries with such difficulties. You remember Sierra Leone with the movie Blood Diamond? Remember that movie? Yes. So you cannot buy stuff from conflict areas. Now we're talking here about the 3 T's, tantalum, tin, and tungsten. Tantalum is mostly used to manufacture capacitors which store electrical energy in cell phones, computers, and also turbine in jet engines. Tin is used in automobiles parts and food packaging. Tungsten is also used to manufacture automobiles and cutting tools, and it is a key element used in light bulbs. So you can see, fellas, Technology runs together with the DRC. You cannot have technology, modern technology, without the DRC. Because all of the stuff you need to build your company, such as Apple, Samsung sometimes, many manufacturers need the DRC. And that's one of the reasons why the country is going through so many turmoil. Let me give you a quick overview. The DRC right now is split into two. There's one side that's occupied by certain people, the other side is occupied by the government. Now, the side that's occupied by the unknown people is riddled by over 190 military groups. We're talking about small rebellions, small little people with 3, 4, 5, 7 weapons looking to get some gain, to occupy some mineral site. So there are many group of people with weapons that control many areas that have minerals. And this has been a real problem because many people have been unalive and it's a sad situation. Now the government has had enough. Congo has had issues with Rwanda because Congolese accuse Rwanda of extracting the mines from these illegal people and reselling it from international market.
He's blaming us, we are supporting M23. And then M23 must go back to where they came from. We even try to explain almost on a regular basis how those people fighting there did not actually come from here.
By this going through Rwanda, basically the traceability is very blurred. You don't know if this is legal or it's not. And that is why Congo and Rwanda are not getting along. And the government of the Congo now accuses Apple of buying minerals that come from conflict areas. This part of the DRC where I mentioned Goma, east side, has been ravaged by violence for more than 30 years. And at least 200 armed groups have been vying for controls of the mine which these minerals are sourced. And now we go to Zambia. Yes, fellas, Zambia. Now, in Zambia, they have arrested 2 people accused of trying to bewitch the president. Yes, bewitch the president. So, suspected witch doctors arrested over attempt to bewitch Zambian president. You go in jail for that. 2 men have been arrested in Zambia accused of being witch doctors who have been tasked with trying to bewitch the president. The police said they had arrested Jensen Mabulese Kanchunde and Leonard Piri at the capital Lusaka. Their purported mission was to use charm to arm President Hakainde Hichilema, said the police statement released on Friday. So apparently there's a man who's an MP in Zambia who is not very much liked by the president. He was put in jail for whatever reason, some things that he did. And after doing that, so that man sent his younger brother to go and bewitch the president. So the Zambian authority have arrested 2 people of possession of charm with the goals of going to arm the president. Now, my question is, how did they investigate? How can you say that this is going to arm the president? So the pair was found in possession of assorted charm, including a live chameleon. So these people had a chameleon. You know what a chameleon is? Chameleon is a little lizard, that changes colors based on where they are. So chameleon, obviously, in many African countries are perceived as the devil or the cousin of the devil. Why do you touch a chameleon? You must be devilish. So there's chameleon, there's cats and snakes, sometimes dogs. Some Africans just do some weird. Like, I don't go to that house, there are many cats. Why do you think that person got 5 cats? Who needs 5 cats? Or who needs a simple black cat? Must be involved in witchcraft or some stuff like that. So the people were arrested and allegedly they were promised 2 million Zambian kwacha each. So 2 million Zambian kwacha is about $73,000. That's what they say. So did those people say it or did the police invent it? I don't know. Whichever way, for bewitching the president in Zambia, you're going to get $73,000. So the guys are being arrested. Now, Zambia has a law. Yeah, there's a law in Zambia, the Witch Acts. So if you're arrested for witchcraft, there's an act for that. It's crazy. Back in time, they used to burn people for being witches, even in Europe. Now, that thing is obsolete. People don't use witchcraft as a crime anymore like that. But in Zambia, apparently, there is an act. It's called the Witchcraft Act and something. You can Google it yourself. Now we go to Kenya. William Ruto apparently has made many people disappear.
30 bodies in Yala. There's 17 bodies in Garissa. I don't know how many bodies where. People were being slaughtered in a police station. How did we end up there?
Well, not with Ruto, but people in the government have apparently made about 80 people disappear from society. These are critics of the government. Now they're asking William Ruto to return those people openly. At least 82 government critics have been allegedly gone missing after the youth-led protest. The youth-led protest movement erupted in June against a controversial finance bill in Kenya. I don't know if you remember, so in Kenya they came up with a bill.
Honorable members, the results of the division on second reading of the Finance Bill 2024 is as follows. Ayes 204, nays 115, abstentions nil. So the ayes have it. Order.
Ruto came up with a bill that will charge people for buying bread, so that you pay extra money for buying bread. There's a tax for women pads. You know, when you get your period, you must pay tax. If you get cancer treatment, there's an extra tax for that because they wanted money. And apparently, Kenya is indebted. They don't want to get money from World Bank. Therefore, let's try to get money from the people. Pushing them to a corner where they cannot live anymore, no more bread, because the extra bread, you pay extra money for the government. Did they really need extra money, or the government of Kenya just needed to clamp down on misuse of money in government? That's interesting. So if you clamp down on people misusing government fund and buying themselves houses, buying themselves car for the next second girlfriend, whatever, and wasting money for things that are not necessary, maybe you wouldn't need to put pressure on the civilians and taking money from them for buying a piece of bread and buying period pad and cancer treatment. Anyway, so many people have disappeared since then because people in Kenya came down the street pushing back the government. They said we were not going to accept. Kenyans are not stupid. They're not like some of Africans who just cry, oh, God must come from heaven and resolve our problems. The country is bad. You have no food. You eat no breakfast. Some of you eat once every second day and you're still praying to God to come from heaven. God must see the problem of our country. You weak people. Kenyans came down the street. Some of them fell. They were unalived, but they reached their goal.
Kenya is led by poverty. We have no education. Most of our people are unlearned. They cannot write, they cannot read.
We are going to add our voice to this, and we need them to understand that we are not okaying what they want to force on us.
Now, unfortunately, even though many people were unalive, 82 government critics have gone missing since then. Now, the Kenyan president back in time said this was a lie. This was fake news. We've never heard about this.
Skepticism must give way to confidence, and we must reject the deceptive embrace of disinformation and fake news.
Now, he has promised to stop abduction of government critics.
Na yale yamesemekana mambo ya abduction tutakomesha. Ndio vijana wa Kenya waweze kuishi kwa amani na vile vile wawe na nidhamu na wawe wangwana, tuweze kujenga Kenya tukiwa pamoja.
In an apparent change of stance, he said it was fake news. Now he says we promise we're not going to. Okay. So Ruto's remark on Saturday did not acknowledge government culpability in those missing. He did not acknowledge, but he said in some way. The Kenyan leader also said that parents should better take care of their children. He didn't say we're going to clamp down on people that have been arrested for criticizing me in the government. He said we're going to try find out what happened, and also parents must take care of their children. So in other words, don't talk about the government, because I cannot assure you that you're not going to be abducted. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to, This is what he said. What has been said about abduction, we will stop them so Kenyan youth can live in peace. But they should have discipline and be polite so that we can build Kenya together. You know what I mean? Let me repeat. What they said about abduction, we will stop them. But he doesn't acknowledge that they do them. But we will stop them. How? I don't know. But they should have discipline. The youth must have discipline and be polite. So don't talk about the government. There was a guy that generated the AI, AI generated the image of Ruto in a casket. Okay, he created an image of Ruto in a casket, and they didn't like that very much. Human rights defender alleged that all of the missing activists and critics have believed to have been tracked down by the government intelligence who tapped into their phone signals. The protests were widely mobilized online before they spread into the street. That's what it is, fellas. So in DRC, they filed a complaint. They're accusing Apple of being part of the murders that are happening in the country. The country is going through painful situation. In Zambia, the president have been spared because two people wanted to bewitch him, and those people have been arrested. And under the Witchcraft Act in Zambia, you can't do a spell against the president. You are going into jail. And Ruto promises to stop abduction, but he says we don't do abduction. We're going to stop abduction, but we don't do abduction. But then you must tell your children to be polite. But we don't do abduction, but we'll stop it. Don't leave without leaving your comment, because YouTube says that most of you guys watch videos, but you don't. Why are you not subscribed? Like, I don't get it. Look how I'm sweating trying to make you videos, but you're not subscribed. Do you want me to stop? I'll stop. I'll stop and go to Zambia. No, I'm not going to Zambia. I'm going to be accused of witchcraft or something. Drop a comment. It costs you absolutely nothing, but it makes sense for the person behind the camera. God bless.